Hello everyone, welcome back to another small business vlog. I'm so excited because we're gonna get into a lot of things this week, but I wanted to start off on a good note and I'll explain later why. This summer I'm kind of just taking my time to get ready for the fall. There's going to be so much going on in the fall. There's going to be a lot of new products. There's going to be a lot of vendor opportunities, markets, online, all the things. So we're getting ready for all that. And I'm really excited. Got an Amazon package here with the new products that are coming. There are a pretty good amount of them that I can do myself as in handmade, and I really want to continue the handmade route because I really do enjoy it, even though there's a lot of headaches behind it, but I still love it. So I figured we could open this together. I'm just gonna, so first is this laminator. There are some few techniques I want to try and different things that I want to try in my products, so I got one of those. And then also a little guillotine situation because there are some things I can cut down myself and I want to try to do that. So I'm currently set up here at the kitchen table, some designs that I'm working on for products, and there is one that I'm actually going to attempt to make today because there's some digital things that I've done. So I already have the designs there and maybe I can just turn them into physical products. So I'm gonna play around with that today as well. It is almost 2:15. My son just went down for a nap. He's been awake since 4:30 today. I don't know why, but I'm here and we're cruising and he finally went down for a nap. So praise Jesus, and we're just gonna keep on pushing through. Okay, so I have the pages printing now and then I'm gonna try to cut. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about something, and that is experiencing the slow season. Like right now, the summertime, things really start to die down. I'll speak specifically towards like a stationary business. Time is not like planner season, journal season at all. It really picks back up in the fall. So I'm really spending the next few weeks focusing on fall events, products, social media, like posts, things like that. But I also wanted to talk about how it's not always on the up and up. You know, especially as a small business, like sometimes you kind of lose, not your spark, but the flame can sometimes be burning really big and it just starts to go a little low, but it's still there and you just have to do things to make your spark grow. So I always like to, in times like this where I'm just, sometimes because I'm going so fast, I know that this is a time for me to not just work on the fall products and things like that, but also to work on myself, reel back in, really spend time with God. Like I'm not gonna be scrolling social media for the next probably 6 weeks or so. I will still post, but that's it. I'm actually gonna switch all of my things onto my iPad because I don't really use my iPad unless it's for editing videos and stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep all of that stuff in one place and delete the apps from my phone so that I'm not scrolling at all. Keeping myself surrounded with worship music, keeping myself in my word. Y'all keep yourself in your word. On this earth, we have an earthly perspective. And to go after the things that you feel God has placed on your heart and you feel is part of your calling, you have to switch to a heavenly perspective. Whether you see it or not, you have to see it in the spirit. So definitely going to reel myself back in. I said all that to say that you're not always gonna feel like you want to do it. You're not always going to feel motivated to create things. You're not always going to feel that creative flow. I'm kind of in that right now where even making this video I'm already starting to feel good, which is why I'm like smiling so hard, because I was not in the mood to do content for the last like 2.5 weeks. And I kind of get like that with my content sometimes, where I just like get tired either of making it, editing, like I just need a break from it, and then I pick back up. But it's okay to take those breaks. It's okay to not feel inspired. Like, again, definitely seek the Lord, especially when you need help with creativity, because he's the creator. So what better place to get advice from and inspiration from? That's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm also just pacing myself. Like, I do have deadlines and, you know, making sure I get my stuff done on time, but I'm also pacing myself where like my whole day doesn't need to be like go, 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 go. Where it's okay to reel back in, take some breaks, and just really take these next few weeks to sharpen my iron. And that is kind of my statement for the next month, is to sharpen my iron. So, y'all, I am so terrible at cutting anything. I don't even understand how. Like, I really just don't. But it's okay. That's what this phase is for. I need to know if I can do this or not. Because I will say, for journals and planners, outsourcing your pages can become pretty pricey. Even though I get a pretty good deal on my journal pages, I get them outsourced. Like, so what that means is I design them and then I send my design out for it to be printed and cut down for me, and then I get them shrink wrapped. So then I still hole punch them and bind them. Again, the cutting down process, it's not easy, very time consuming, and also you have to have a good hand. Don't. But with some of the new handmade products that I want to bring for the fall, I don't want to get those things cut down for me, because I know I can do them, and it's not as many pages as like a journal or a planner. Right now, I'm just working like on figuring out techniques. So if the materials I'm planning to use are they gonna work or not? I'm gonna let that sit and dry now. Are they gonna print well, look good or not? This glue I'm using, do I want to actually use this glue or find something else? So we're very much in the trial and error phase, which is also not easy to be in, because you will come into a lot of bumps in the road, but that's okay. Just keep learning, keep gliding along one step at a time. Also, a little side note, as I'm doing all these things, I also am taking the time to consider, can I do this times 20? Can I do this times 10? Because I'm not going to be making like one of everything. Like, I'll probably make 10 to 20 for the markets and stuff like that. So I have to take in the learning time it's going to take me, the process to actually put it together, materials and costs, and then doing it in bulk. Once I have these things down packed, should I actually start to put a product together so that I can make sure I have them ready for my deadline dates? I have a link somewhere, right? But just coming up with content has been like really hard. Sometimes I'll be sitting doing things and I'll think back to your videos and like I could just be like, all right, y'all, today is Thursday. It is about 3 o'clock, I believe, and let me tell y'all what I'm doing. So we talked about sharpening our iron, right? And One of the areas in my life where I need to take a minute to sharpen my iron is, of course, in my business as well. So what does that look like for me? It is going back to my mission statements, my why statements, going back to some of my workbooks. I'm actually part of a women's business membership. Tiana Muse, who is a business coach and mentor and helps other women to step out of their own way, and I love her and she has helped me so much. I love the membership, y'all. Definitely check out her Instagram because 10 out of 10. So one thing she does for us is trainings. We have monthly training calls, co-working calls, all types of calls. And one thing she does for us as well is put workbooks together. So every quarter there is a new theme. Some of them, they may tie into other themes or other trainings. So she'll always recommend for us to revisit certain trainings. So in this theme, the training that I'm watching right now is called Bold Plans. So I actually pulled out some of my old workbooks just to revisit, you know, get a fresh perspective. I love rewatching the trainings because every time I leave with something new, depending on like what I'm trying to figure out. So if it's my content, maybe it's design, maybe it's how to market to my audience, like every area is here. Also, y'all, right now my son is taking a nap and I always utilize nap time, whether it's to get things done around the house or business wise. I really like it to stay the time that I use for Sow the Seed stationery, because when I'm doing design, creating content, just certain things, I really need silence. Like I really need to focus, and the less distractions the better. So I really enjoy that. The reason I'm revisiting this training is because sometimes in different seasons you have to just like plan differently or structure yourself differently. Maybe I liked how Tatiana said maybe how things worked in one season just can't work in this one. So for me, I used to do certain routines with my son when he was 1.5. Definitely does not work now that he's almost 3. Y'all, he's so much more just active, needs playtime, needs reading time, needs a lot. So he doesn't, before he used to take a nap from 12 to 2. That 12 to 2 time block no longer exists for me. So I have to, one, you have to just accept the change in the season. 2, adjust. So for me right now, my time blocks usually look like 2 to 4 or 3 to 5. It just depends on the day, and some days he don't nap at all. So sometimes you do have to just pivot a little and take a moment to breathe and really take into consideration priorities, your own mental health, your own spiritual well-being, and all the other things will fall into place, because you got to be good for everything else to be good. And let me hit y'all with the spiritual part as well. So I've been in the book of Daniel, and something I started to really grasp from the book of Daniel is his work ethic. Like Daniel was so responsible and faithful over his work that came after him could not even touch him on his work. So they had to come after him based on his religion. And if you don't know the book, well, the story of Daniel, definitely read 1 through 6 because that is where I'm referencing from. So recently just got a King James reference Bible. So I restarted the book of Daniel. Well, where I had left off, I just started from the beginning again. Chapter 1, it talks about Daniel's having God's favor on him, how God gave him wisdom. His favor can be referenced back to the same favor that Joseph had in the prison. His wisdom can be referenced back to the same wisdom God gave Solomon when he asked for it. So how can I apply these things not just personally, but in my business as well. And to me, that is seeking God for his wisdom, knowing that his favor in my life means that he will be there with me in the trials, tribulations, in the mountains, all of the above. He will always be there. Continuing to learn his character so that he can do a work in me and mold me. So that being said, in the book of Daniel, I've just been really interested of how he was described as faithful and responsible. And so that is just making me take a little self-reflection moment and see where I can prioritize better, things I could stop doing. Girl, you know that scroll, it needs to go. It needs to go. So I still have to switch my Instagrams and all that onto my iPad. So I'll probably do that at some point today.